And that's what happened the first time I played the original Super Mario Brothers. So, what's going on, guys? Blood Moon Bobby here. If somebody knows a better way to play Mario, I guess you can feel free to comment. Um, I've never actually completed the original Super Mario Brothers from the NES, though. I'm just a dumb young kid born in the 90s that suck at video games made in the 80s. So, whoop de frickin' do, I guess. And so, why are we talking about Mario today? And that is because Nintendo and Illumination, the company behind the wonderful Despicable Me, and The Secret Life of Pets is working on a Mario movie. Nintendo announced, or Nintendo of America, I should say, announced on Twitter on Wednesday that they're working with Illumination and that the movie is going to be co-produced by Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto and Illumination regular Chris Meledandri. So, and this movie is going to be made by Illumination's MacGuff studio in Paris. Variety says the movie will probably be several years away, so I'm guessing Nintendo and Illumination are in the really early stages. Like, they're probably tossing around some ideas, but they don't have a script yet. So, how do I feel about this? That's getting annoying, I know. It's funny how, like, these days, Nintendo, I guess, has become more open to other companies playing around with the franchises with things like the Mario and Rabbids game on Switch, and, these movies are coming out, and the third-party support that Nintendo is getting with games, like we got the Bethesda games on Switch, like Skyrim and Doom, and I'm hoping many more do come to Switch. I think part of it is because I get the feeling that Nintendo's current president, Tatsumi Kimishima, he actually worked in the US. I heard like he used to work for Nintendo of America and the Pokemon Company. So I feel that's why the Switch is getting third-party support. That's why the Switch launched in pretty much in the major territories on the same day worldwide. And that's why you see things like the Switch having a USB-C port instead of Nintendo's wacky proprietary I/O. So, isn't it interesting how for years I didn't know what the term I/O meant, but it took me going to a computer science class and I learned that I/O stood for input output. Yeah, I guess I'm weird like that. But anyway, not going off on a tangent, how do I feel about Nintendo working with Illumination? Because I feel like it's very easy to just hate, this idea because Illumination is the company that made the Despicable Me movies, Sing, the Lorax, and so on. And I've seen a few Illumination movies. I've seen the first Despicable Me, I saw Minions, and I also saw Sing. To me, what concerns me about the Mario movie is it's not that it's a video game movie, because I feel like nowadays with so many great animators, there is hope in a video game movie. And with something like Super Mario, that might actually be a flaw that I'll get to in a second. It's really hard to say what Illumination will do and what Nintendo will be cool with, because it is Illumination and they usually just go for the very typical, like, kids kind of humor. They don't tend to be super creative with that. I mean, that's why I kind of feel like Illumination is just, a division of Universal that just wants to make money, because they only go for the most bare bones sort of humor. Like in Despicable Me, Gru is, a villain as protagonist and he's got all these cool gadgets. And Sing, hey, fluffy animals sing a bunch of super pop culture-y kind of songs. And in Minions, it's just the Minions being Minions, and it made $1 billion at the box office. And Yeah, I don't. It's not that Illumination's movies are terrible. It's just that they're so kind of that you can't really get mad at them, and you can't really say they're feature film masterpieces. And because they're not horrible, they're not going away anytime soon. People are going to still check their movies out. So um, and it's so. I'm not saying we're gonna see like super pop cultural humor in the Mario movie, but I'm not really expecting the humor to be really out of the box. You know, it's really hard to say. We don't really have information on who's, like writing the movie or directing, so we can't really say for sure. But knowing Illumination's past work, I'm not going to expect something super innovative. It's not that I'm expecting every movie that comes out, like, it has to qualify for Best Picture in order for me to like it. It's just that I'm just hoping for this Mario movie that it's going to be better than what we usually see from Illumination. But something like when Blue Sky made the Peanuts movie, and Blue Sky doesn't really have the best reputation either. Like, I would say Blue Sky is actually slightly worse than Illumination. With something like when they made the Peanuts movie, they had a style to follow, and while yes, it's more of a modern take on the Peanuts style, it still feels like a Peanuts movie. Whereas in Mario, yeah, like Mario has his own style too, but since this is a movie they're making, they could expand on that, and unfortunately, they might expand on it in their typical Illumination ways. So, and the fact that Miyamoto is an executive producer, I'm not really sure if that's just a PR move or if he's really going to get his hands dirty. Because in Hollywood, executive producers are very hard to define because their roles can vary on film to film. An executive producer can be as involved like Steven Spielberg when he made Goonies, where he actually wrote the story. He didn't write the script, but I think he wrote like I'm guessing he wrote like a sort of treatment or story outline. I know he said he wrote the story for it though. Or they could be as inconsequential as somebody like Audrey Geisel, Dr. Seuss's wife, which no bad blood on Audrey, okay? I'm sure she's a wonderful person. She was actually the one that's responsible for the end of the Cat in the Hat live action movies. But at the same time, you look at something like Horton Hears a Who, which she executive produced. Does that look like it was made by a person who understood Dr. Seuss, or did it look like it was just made by Blue Sky doing their typical Blue Sky thing, with Jim Carrey playing Horton to an almost obnoxious degree, you know? So, as with all announcements that are this big, we won't really know anything until we at least get a trailer, and can't really dive into it until we see the movie itself. So I would say the Mario movie is in, I guess, good hands. And kind of going back to the executive producer thing, for all we know, Miyamoto might just be fine with Illumination throwing on their sense of humor because, technically speaking, it doesn't destroy the Mario franchise, but it doesn't make it super appealing for especially very observant fans. So those are just my kind of qualms. I'm not saying Illumination is a bad studio. I'm sure Nintendo did their homework, but I'm not really sure if they're going to give us something that good. Like, I'd really like to see an animation company bring out something that's fun but still very, good, especially these days with how good TV cartoons are doing. Because admittedly, even a company like Pixar, even though I still really like their movies, their style is getting kind of stagnant. Like, I don't know if it's because I watched the Pixar movies with my dad as a kid and he tended to over explain them, and to this day he still does, and maybe I'm just sick of that. But maybe Nintendo can go into more of a Warner Animation or I wish the Illumination took some notes from a company like Warner Animation, where yeah, it's still where it's a really funny movie, but it has a good heart. So yeah, so now that the deal's been made, I'm just hoping Illumination makes a movie that's better than what they usually bring out, and they don't just treat this as a cash grab. So, and it's all, I find it funny too how like Illumination works with Universal a lot, and now Nintendo is working with Illumination, so things are going full circle. Because in case you didn't know, Universal sued Nintendo when they created Donkey Kong because, oh, Donkey Kong is too similar to King Kong, and now Universal's working with a company. I mean, Nintendo's working with a company that works with Universal a lot, so that's some interesting. So, all right, guys, this has been Blood Moon Bobby. Please tell me what you guys think about this announcement, and please try to be mature about it. Don't just tell me, oh, it's the Mania Studio, it's gonna suck. Like, please take a second to really think about it. And if you have any ideas for other videos I can do, please email me. My email address is in the comments. So, thanks for watching. Hey guys, this has been a Blood Moon Bobby video. Please like this video or dislike it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.